Hello everyone, welcome to my new setup. I'm using a little natural light here, and welcome to my first video on my YouTube channel. So this is really exciting, and I thought what better way to post my first video other than to introduce ourselves and acquaint ourselves with this new beautiful tarot, the Midnight City Tarot, as you can see. So I just wanted to show some things that came in the box, and then we're going to take a look at the deck. So first off, it came in this beautiful like hand stamped box. Welcome to Midnight City Tarot, and everything was really nicely in here in the box. So I'm just going to put that off to the side. So we have some postcards here, which are really beautiful. Greetings from New York, the city of dreams. New York City, the city that never sleeps. And this is an actual postcard you can use. So this one has a personal note on it that I'm not going to share, but thank you so much from the creator for sending this. I also really love the business card. So this looks like basically a Metro card. So for those of you who don't know, I haven't lived in New York City, but I lived literally right across the Hudson River in Hoboken, New Jersey and Jersey City, New Jersey. So I lived there for a decade, 10 years, and I was going into the city all the time. And I basically, for a large part of my young adult life, I always had the most beautiful view of the skyline. So New York is a city that is just so near and dear to my heart. So when I saw this deck, I was like, oh my gosh, I need this. So yeah, that's a long story of saying that this looks like a Metro card. I've had many of these in my pockets, in my wallet, in my bags. So I love that. And it looks like here, scan the QR code below to enter Midnight City Tarot story. So that's interesting. Oh, and there's like a passcode. So I'll have to see what that's all about. But I love that. So I'm just going to put these kind of off to the side. So we have our deck here, and then in this pouch, put that off to the side, we have our lovely guidebook. So we'll take a look at the guidebook in a bit, but I definitely just wanted to get right into the deck because when this came in the mail, I told myself I'm going to hold off and unbox it on camera. So all of my first impressions and my reactions are all authentic. So let's take a look. We have a 2-piece hardcover box. It's really nice and smooth to the touch. It says here, Midnight City Tarot, the fool's journey through the city that never sleeps. I don't know. When I see the New York skyline, I just feel like home because that was my home for a decade of my young adult life. So yeah, I feel like this deck is going to be really special. I really love the color palette that the author and creator chose. I feel like it's very like late 80s, early 90s. So as a child who was born in the 80s, that aesthetic really kind of speaks to me. So we've got the back of the deck. It says here, this first edition Midnight City Tarot deck contains 78 hand-drawn cards, inspired by the fool's journey through the city that never sleeps. For stories behind the cards, unique tarot spreads to try out, and ways to connect to the Midnight City Tarot community, check out midnightcitytarot.com. Very lovely. So that is the inside of the box, which is really beautiful. Again, I see a scene like this and it just, it feels very nostalgic. It feels like home. It feels like I feel like this deck is going to be like a time capsule of like a part of my life because I don't live there anymore. I actually live at the beach. But I do feel like this is going to be a really nice nostalgic deck for me. So, okay, so let's move that off to the side. So here we have a little insert. Welcome to Midnight City Tarot. I love that with like the city in the palm of your hands and the rainbow. This is a little thank you. And this is the creator, Jackie. She's the illustrator and the creator of this deck. Really lovely. Okay, so let's get into the cards. So that's a really lovely scene too. So the inside of our box, we have like a full scenic landscape here. This is going into the subway. It says here, enter with your tarot cards at all times. That's so cute. That's so, so cute. Okay. So let's get into our cards. These are the beautiful backs. This is a really nice linen finish. Hopefully you can see on the camera, it's got the like textured, you can hear it, the textured like cross grains. It's not edged or gilded or anything, but we know with the linen finish, it'll shuffle very nicely. So let's just take a look. So first of all, I love how the titles look like subway stops. So if you've ever been to New York City or have taken the subways or trains in that area, this is what all the signs look like. So I love that. And the Fool is, you know, just arriving. It's like this new journey. Maybe someone young has moved away from home for the first time and they are moving to New York, because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So I love that as the Fool. Okay, so next we have the Magician. I love this because, so when I lived across the river in Hoboken, which again, I feel like it's like the 6th borough of New York, but I had a balcony and I would often be on like my balcony or fire escape and doing like journaling or spell work with the candles. So I love that idea of this setting of the city and just like being a little baby witch and just kind of like manifesting my intentions with whatever tools I had at my disposal. So that's really resonant with me. So the High Priestess, we have here the crescent moon. I do think it's interesting that I believe when I saw the, what's it called? Like sneak previews of this deck, I believe all the figures are kind of like this like blacked out shadowy figure. So I do like that because, you know, I think it'll be a little bit more gender neutral or genderless. So you can kind of just picture whoever you want in the card. So I think that's really cool. The Empress, that is beautiful. I'll have to look in the guidebook what kind of flower that is. The Emperor, is that the Empire State Building or the Chrysler Tower? One of those. Chrysler Building, rather. Which I think is really interesting too, because it's kind of, I don't know, sometimes I look at the Emperor as like the patriarchy or like capitalism sometimes, and I feel like, you know, with the tall skyscrapers, that can really speak to that energy. The Hierophant, so it looks like we're in like a yoga class, which is really interesting. So we've kind of moved away from that traditional like religion and things like that, and the Hierophant is more of like a spiritual teacher. Maybe they're a yoga instructor, which I've gone to many yoga classes, so I do like that interpretation. We've got the Lovers, which is really beautiful. We just have like hands embraced, and we have our beautiful skyline here. The Chariot, what would the Chariot be without our yellow cabs? Which, do people even take yellow cabs anymore? I feel like it's all Uber now, but anyway, love that. Strength, we've got the lions in front of the New York Public Library. The Hermit, we're kind of just cozying up in our apartment, maybe reading some books, just having a quiet night in. We've got our Himalayan salt lamp, so that is, I'm very familiar with this scene. I've had many cozy nights in at my apartment. The Wheel of Fortune, we have a Ferris wheel, and it says here, Wonder Wheel, more chills and thrills this way. That's really cute. Justice, of course, Lady Liberty would have to take that spot, and I think that's a really great interpretation of that. And then, of course, in the background, we have the Freedom Tower, which, you know, would have been the Twin Towers. The Hanged One, we are hanging from a subway, which if you have ever ridden on the New York City subways, you will know that some crazy things happen there. You might catch like a live performance, some kind of like performative art and things like that. So this is not a weird thing to see actually. So that's really cute. I like that. Death, we have here a tree. So I'm picturing like all the trees and foliage you would have in like, not Times Square, oh my gosh, Central Park. So we see the leaves changing and falling. That's really beautiful. The fall in New York also has its own vibe, so I like that. Temperance, we have this beautiful swan. The devil. So what do we have here? Obviously we have handcuffs, but is that gum? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look in the guidebook. Kind of gross, but there is a lot of like, you know, trash and gum and garbage in the city too. So I don't know if that's what that's supposed to be. We'll find out. And the tower. So this looks like someone is getting evicted because they have received a certified letter, immediate action required. So that's a very clever interpretation of the tower because nobody wants that news that all of a sudden they're being evicted for something. The star, we have this beautiful bright star above all the buildings, and it kind of also shows that, like, you know, down here it's all this hustle and bustle, and then kind of when you rise up and take a higher perspective, like, it seems peaceful, it can be quiet. So I do like that as well. And the moon, same thing. I don't know which bridge this is. It could be Brooklyn, it could be the George Washington, it could be a bunch of bridges, but really beautiful. And the sun, this is probably the sun over Central Park. Judgment. Now, is this St. Patrick's Cathedral? It might be. I'll have to take a look at the guidebook, but we've got a church here and then we've got a graveyard next to it. The World card I absolutely adore. I feel like this encompasses that energy of like, I don't know, the world is your oyster, and like going to New York City, like there's so many possibilities. That would actually even be a nice like Fool energy too, but I guess the Fool does circle back to the world. But just that wholeness and that completion of really loving the life that you've created there. I think that's really clever and really beautiful. So I like that. Okay, so let's take a look at our minors. So rather than calling it aces, it's just a 1. And I think that's really speaking to like the, what is it? Like the design of the subway signs. So I do like that. So we've got here for the ace or the 1 of wands, we've sparked a match. 2 of wands, we're kind of on a balcony looking out into the city, maybe, you know, kind of daydreaming or really visioning about, you know, the kind of life we're trying to create for ourselves in our new city, perhaps. The 3 of wands, it looks like there's some construction going on and this is like a scaffolding. The 4 of wands, we've got some kind of celebration, possibly a wedding of some sort. Really beautiful. It looks like they're on a rooftop. 5 of wands, we've got a bunch of dogs who are going to get all tangled up and they are obviously in a conflict. We've got some garbage here. It's probably like that energy of like that chaotic energy that sometimes you can find just like walking on the sidewalks in the city. So that makes sense to me. 6 of wands, we have like this light burst of energy and these almost look like magic wands. So it's kind of like we've been victorious in what we're trying to create. 7 of wands, ooh, whenever it rains and you're in the city, I always call it like umbrella wars because everyone obviously has their umbrellas. Some people have those really huge, what are they called? Like golf umbrellas, and it's just banging into everyone. Umbrellas are getting caught. So like this, and you have to kind of like stand your ground. So this totally resonates with me. Umbrella wars. 8 of wands, we've got some birds, probably pigeons because pigeons are just a city bird. 9 of wands, we're kind of crossing over a bridge. We're continuing forward. And the 10 of Wands. So we're getting onto a subway here, and it says, beware of the closing doors. And it looks like they're like, obviously they're sweating. There's some like little water droplets here. And they're trying to squeeze onto the subway car. They might have dropped some of their things. So yeah, there's definitely that feeling of burden and kind of stress right here. So now we've got our Page of Wands. It says now serving brunch. So maybe this person is working in a restaurant. Knight of Wands. This person's kind of going through on their skateboard. It's got that sense of like movement and action. Queen of Wands. This person is on a rooftop. It looks like they're really enjoying where they are. They're watching these fireworks. We've got some flowers here. And the King of Wands, it kind of looks like they're in this nice, like expensive, like lounge or something. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so now we are in our Suit of Cups. So we've got our classic coffee cup, NYC. Two of Cups, we've got two people and a heart in the middle, and we are clinking champagne glasses, really lovely. Three of Cups, we are communing in what I think might be Central Park or another park and just kind of having a really nice time, enjoying people's company. So I really like that. Four of Cups, so it looks like, you know, this person has got their takeout or to-go cups. They're offering another cup. Do they want to take it? That's, you know, very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith interpretation. Five of Cups, this looks like cups that have maybe fallen off this little bridge or this little walkway. That's interesting because they are all overturned, which in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, there are some cups that are turned upright. So that's an interesting interpretation that they're all spilled. The Six of Cups, we've got heirloom bouquets. That's very reminiscent of, again, the Rider-Waite-Smith with the cups filled with flowers. That's probably speaking to that nostalgia or that like childlike energy. The Seven of Cups is all the choices that the city offers you. So it can be beautiful, but it can also be disgusting. We've got rats, we've got pigeons. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Kind of looks like a ghost. I don't know. Does that mean you could get ghosted if you're on dates? I don't know. We've got our Metro card, we've got our city, we've got fireworks. So yeah, the city just has a lot to offer, and you know, you have the choice of like what you're trying to get into. So I think that's pretty cool. Oops, hold on. I think my camera is, oops, did I bump that? Okay. All right, so yeah, you have the choice what you really want to get into. So we've got our Eight of Cups. So this is interesting. It looks like this person maybe bought wine glasses and they showed up and they're all broken. So that's an interesting interpretation as well. I'll be interested to see what is in the guidebook for that. The Nine of Cups. So it looks like these little apothecary jars have names of herbs. Lemon balm, yarrow. This one says love. Dandelion. So this is like a person at an apothecary, which is kind of cool. And 10 of Cups, we've got these beautiful like flower planters. We see the rainbow in the background and maybe a couple right there. So that's really lovely. We've got our Page of Cups. It looks like they're on a boat, maybe a boat cruise. Knight of Cups, this little guy is kind of like canoeing. I'm not sure where. Could that be Central Park with the trees here? Queen of Cups. This says, welcome to the Mermaid Parade. And King of Cups. This guy is kind of overlooking the water, which would make sense. Okay, so we've got our Ace or One of Swords. This is a pencil. The Two of Swords. Oh, I like that as like street art. I think that's pretty cool. Four of Swords. So what do we have here? So it looks like there's a person on the computer. Are these like emails? And so this are just stacks of paperwork piling up. And these little message bubbles kind of look like, I don't know, text bubbles. They're kind of feeling overwhelmed. Usually the Four of Swords is about rest. So maybe with all of this going on, they need to take a rest. Again, I'm going to be curious what the guidebook says for that. We've got our Five of Swords here. Six of Swords, I like that. That's like a subway or a train kind of leaving an area, and that's very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith with being on the boat. Seven of Swords, this one's probably being a shisty character, as we know. Eight of Swords, we've got our train delays, and they look really cold and not happy. Nine of Swords, that definitely gives us the feeling of anxiety in bed. The time is 3:33, so they're up in the night worrying. And the 10 of Swords, it looks like these swords are they in the crosswalk of the street? And there's a scarf here. So did someone get hit by a car? Not sure, we're gonna find out. Okay, so we've got our Page of Swords. It looks like are they leaving the library? Or this is one of those little libraries, which are adorable. So maybe they're out, you know, trying to gain some knowledge. Knight of Swords, this little guy is swiftly on his bike. Queen of Swords, we can even see the similar posturing of the Rider-Waite-Smith Queen of Swords. And our King of Swords is hard at work at their desk. And then we've got our coins. So that's really cute with the acorn. Two of Coins. Is this like a dancer or sex worker perhaps? Just making that money. So that's pretty cool. Three of Coins. Trying to get your friends to help you move. This also reminds me of that episode of Friends with the infamous pivot scene with the couches and trying to get your friends to help you move. So that seems relevant. Four of Coins, we're really holding on to all of our resources as we're on the subway, which, you know, I can get like that too when I'm traveling in the city and I'm afraid of people, you know, pickpocketing or muggers. Like I will hold on to my bags very tightly. So that resonates particularly well with this scene. Ooh, Five of Coins, we have our cockroaches. Very common in the city to have, you know, mice or cockroaches. And it's really funny too, because on each cockroach, you have a pentacle. Six of Coins, I can definitely see the give and take. We've got the scales here, and this person's playing music, putting music out into the world. And as a result, people are tossing coins into their guitar case. Seven of Coins, we have that idea of planting seeds and watching them grow and, you know, also having to water it and nurture it. Eight of Coins, it looks like this person is baking. So they're kind of like honing in on their craft, you know, creating something that they really enjoy doing. Nine of Coins is my treat yourself card. So of course that would be getting yourself some nice nails, a nice manicure done. So that's really cool. I like that interpretation. And then the 10 of Coins, it looks like we have a nice little party. Maybe friends or family or chosen family. We've got a dog here. It looks like just like a nice cozy dinner party. So that's lovely. We've got here the Page of Coins. So it looks like, oh, they're at Webster Hall. Festival after party tickets available, but they're not in line. Maybe they don't have enough money to get in. The Knight of Coins. This guy is taking the subway. Our Queen of Coins, it looks like this person might be working or maybe owning a little witchy shop or apothecary, so that's really cute. And then our King of Coins, this is very like Mad Men, Don Draper, executive kind of vibe. So this deck, I am just loving the vibe. Let's give this a little bit of a shuffle. Oops. And let's see if I can riffle shuffle on camera, because sometimes the cards just want to go all over the place. Beautiful. So let's give that a shuffle. And let's just pull like 3 cards for the collective. So if you are watching this video, consider this a message for you today, even if you're not watching it on the day that I post it. If you see it, this message is meant for you. So let's just pull 3 cards and see what we get. So we've got the 4 of Wands, lovely, Justice, and the 3 of Wands. So what I'm seeing here is about balance and fairness, because we have our Lady Liberty here, and then we also have our Freedom Tower. So what I'm seeing here is maybe you might have to balance some things in your life. Maybe it's work and play, a little bit of work, a little bit of play to really get to where you want to be, to really celebrating your life and celebrating your wins. The 3 of Wands is also about taking those steps. So as much as with the 2 of Wands, we're really visioning and daydreaming, perhaps planning about the life we want to live, you have to take those next steps and actually get to work. Because we see here, there's construction, there's actually work happening. So yeah, I think this message here is saying like really taking a look at and stock of your life right now and figure out what parts need a little bit more balance. Let's pull one more card to see. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune. So again, take that chance. You know, you can't let fear get in the way and, you know, worry about, oh, if I take a chance, like what will happen? You just have to try, because with the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about, you know, putting yourself out there, taking that chance. Everything is cyclical. So, you know, with the good times, there can also be, you know, more difficult times, and nothing stays for too long. So that's just kind of a quick reading. Let's pull one card and take a look at the guidebook. So let's just take a quick look here. So this is, so the one thing with this is you're not going to be really able to put this in the same bag. I mean, I guess you could, you're just going to need like a larger tarot bag. But let's take a look here. So we've got Welcome to Midnight City Tarot, a little about the art in the box. That's cool. Oh, okay. So yeah, we've got the inside of the box and the base. The card art, so it really explains that. It explains the borders. And like I said, this is like the subway signs, the MTA signage, the index, and then you get information on each card. So like with the Fool, you get the vibe, the artwork, advice, and reverse. So that's really cool. Oh, and it also gives you the location, so I can see if some of them are right. So it looks like we have our majors, and it looks like our minors. We get the same amount of information, which I love. Oh, this is cute. So with location, for some of these more like general art depictions, location, it says your desk. Right here, location, your apartment. I think that's really cute to really personalize and put yourself into this. It almost reminds me of like the Spacious Tarot, how it kind of creates a scene and it allows you to kind of like walk into it and put yourself in that space. That's really nice. So let's see here. We go through all of our cards. Yep, so it ends with King of Coins. So let's pull a card and just see from the guidebook what it says. So you can also consider this a message for the collective if, let's say, the last one didn't resonate with you, or it did, and maybe here's a bonus. All right, so let's see what comes through. Ooh, Four of Cups. All right, so let's take a look at what the guidebook has to say for the Four of Cups. Okay, so it says here the vibe, lack or scarcity in relationships, feeling like people are going to let you down. The location is a coffee stand in Midtown West. So the artwork, it says here, you are grabbing coffee in the morning before work and hold 3 cups in your hands. You're being offered a 4th. The person is calling out to you, asking you to grab the last cup, but you've turned away. You just don't hear them no matter how strong their presence or how much they try to get your attention to help you. Advice. It can be hard, but if you try to give people a chance to be there for you, you may be surprised that they do show up. This could be a time to look for emotional support. So I do like how it offers the vibe, and then it explains what's going on in the artwork, and then advice. It also offers a reverse message. It says upside down, this becomes more positive, finding opportunities and support in unexpected places and feeling invigorated by them. Really lovely. So yeah, this is the Midnight City Tarot. I am just loving the vibe of this, the artwork, the colors. It's making me feel very nostalgic for the city and the time I spent living over there. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and also let me know what you think of my first official YouTube video. I'm going to start posting my videos strictly on YouTube as opposed to my Instagram page, which on Instagram I'm at Lumeria Star. So I really want to kind of spread my content over to other social media platforms. So yeah, this is my first video. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Definitely give it a like. I'd love for you to subscribe so you can see more of my content and a walkthrough of my decks. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye everyone.